thing came into my head while I was cleaning. Always cleaning. Yes, I am always cleaning because my girl is always messing it up. Anyway, this talk of making America great again. Okay. How did America become great the first time? Hmm? When it was first starting, how did it end up being great? Okay. And the reason why I ask this is because of, well, something that came into my head, but also while I was going about thinking about this, I came across a video. Um, I'm not gonna say where the video is, but basically it was of Jesse Lee Peterson asking women if they were sluts or whatever, and he, well, it was not even just that, but he was asked. It was like a mashup of, I don't know, like his greatest heavy hits or whatever the hell. Um, just different things he's doing, and one of the things he said, oh, Trump is one of our best presidents, Obama the worst. Okay, say what you will about that. And then he said Trump is going to make America great again. And right now, it is now 11:24 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday, January 20th, 2019. Okay. So, making America great again. He's going to do that. Okay. Well, I want to know how that happened. I have an idea of how that happened. One, not speaking from the British point, which is like, well, first you're going to be a fucking treasonous traitor because that's exactly what America was to the crown back in blah blah blah. Okay, fine. Another point, slavery. Now, why slavery? Why slavery? Um, First I'm gonna read a bit of actually the Wikipedia definition. Actually, no, let's not even go with the Wikipedia definition. Let's go with the Merriam-Webster definition. Merriam. Why Merriam-Webster? Because apparently, for some odd reason, Merriam-Webster, from what I've been understanding, is the authority on the English language. Um, Not Oxford English Dictionary. I don't know. Okay. So, Merriam-Webster, and I'll have the link to this. Merriam-Webster, slavery. Slavery. Number one, drudgery, toil. Okay, well, I guess under that definition, everyone on planet Earth is a slave, no matter how rich or how poor. So, does slavery still exist? By definition, yes. Okay, but let's not play dumb here, even though technically, technically, we embrace technicalities here. Two, submission to a dominating influence. Okay. Three, A, the state of a person who is chattel of another. Yeah. And three, B, the practice of slaveholding. Okay. So those are, and slavery's a noun. So those are the examples of slavery. Now we of course know when you say slavery, we all know what we think of in the pictures in our heads. So my question then becomes, does slavery still exist? And that's obviously what made America as prosperous, as close to free labor as possible. Free labor, free labor. Keep that in mind for later. This should be quite evident and obvious. I mean, look at China. Are they paying their workers in factories and stuff, making all the bullshit that comes here, the same minimum wage that you would have to pay somebody here in America at the very least? Right? That should tell you. Why can't America compete with China? Right. So, and of course, if they did start competing with China, what would happen? If China started doing what America did with the minimum wage laws, what would happen to prices? So there you go. The more free something is, the more free you can give it away. The more free the labor is, anyway. Moving on. Point is, make America great again is what Trump is going to do, and one Jesse Lee Peterson seems to believe that he is going to do that, and God forbid, probably isn't doing that now or hasn't done that. So my question then becomes, do we have slavery right now? Why? Simple, because there are no because obviously we're in the middle of middle. We are at some point in a government shutdown, a shutdown where people have already gone without getting a paycheck, where they are not going to get a paycheck. They are not going to be compensated for their labor, which is probably the one thing that all these right wing well, not even right wing concern, but libertarian, or if you want to call them that, those people on that end of the spectrum are always talking about compensating people for their time, compensating whatever. Although they certain, once you get into the history of these groups, but these people are being forced to work. They have to work. They have to still keep working. They cannot quit. They have to keep working, and they're not getting paid. Oh, but they're going to get paid at some point. From what I've come to understand, or I'm hearing from people, as well as reading online, and I take what I'm hearing from people that actually work in the government with more weight, is that people that work in the government in the non-essential areas, first of all, why the hell are they there if they're not essential? But they will get paid at some point. At some point. Okay. The contractors, which is the vast majority of the government. I mean, the government is actually the government, as far as physical size in terms of people, is actually quite small. There's only a core group of most of the rest of the government is contract shit, right? I mean, yeah, you have your different entities, you know, your different organizations and whatever, departments, but government, you know, you have the 3 points, the executive, legislative, judicial, and all that stuff. Okay, fine, and all that, but a lot of the government is contractors, and from what I've come to understand, a lot of those contractors will not be getting paid, and they have to still keep working. Now, I don't know how the hell that's going to be legally able to be upheld, although, well, you don't have any alternative laws. You have only the laws of the main government, which is the U.S. government, right? It's not like you can go to the cartels or MS-13 and with their laws take on the government. So there's that. But there's got to be some contract in there saying you got to be able to get paid. Okay. So my thing is, these people are being forced to work. They have to work. I don't know what's going to happen if they just decide not to show up. But they have to work, and they're not getting paid. And hell, even for the ones that are going to get paid at some point, well, you know what? Go to your job and work for an entire year without getting a single paycheck. I don't care if it's commission, hourly, salary, whatever. And see what happens, you know? One solid year. 365, or for all you leap year motherfuckers, 66 days without getting a single paycheck. Not one red cent, red, white, and blue cent, green cent, whatever. You know? You know? Slavery. Does it exist still? Forcing people to work without... Hell, the most recent major slavery that which is the antebellum slavery, yeah. I'm not about to sit here and say that it was great in any way, or it was, well, hell, at least they had... I'm not about to... No, absolutely not. Obviously not. But let's be honest here. In that slavery, those people at least got food, clothing, and shelter, if you want to call it that. In this bit of slavery, you're not getting that. You still have to go find your own food, clothing, and shelter. And now, the one and only means that people have in life to do that, which is through money, and getting that money through whatever good or service you're doing, they're not getting. So, do we have slavery? No. We right now, or some of the people right now, have something that, depending on who you want to ask and how you want to look at it, might in fact be worse. In some areas, because let's not play dumb like anything was worse than that slavery. Okay, no. These people aren't getting beaten. They're not getting raped. They're not getting killed. Right? So let's not play dumb with this. Okay. Understand what I'm saying, despite what I may be saying, and don't go trying to take it out of context or try to change the spirit of what I'm saying. Okay, these people are not getting paid. These contractors, they're not getting paid, and they're still being forced to work. You have to come in. You have to work. And all these people who talk about not stealing, don't steal from me, go out and work hard, don't be a criminal and steal. What say you now? What say you now? These people, these government contractors, they are working, have to work, being told to, being forced to work at everything except perhaps the literal gun to the face. Right? Who knows? Some of them might even have a gun to their face. And they're essentially giving away free labor, especially the ones that are not going to get paid. And then for the ones that will get paid at some point in the future, especially considering that this shutdown could potentially be infinite, technically. I want anyone, send this video to whoever you want, give them the link, let them come and explain out or justify or give some sort of argument to what I just said. To all of what I just said. Now then, it's real easy to gain wealth and whatever when you're getting free labor. The free labor should have came in the form of machines, but you know what? Free human labor, it's free. Whatever, free is free, whatever. Slavery is how America. Without slavery, if they, go ask any historian, go ask anyone. If slavery did not exist in the United States, would America have been what it was? Well, what it is today? As far as power and wealth and all that stuff. If they didn't have slavery to start off with. Anybody with an IQ of 0 or above will obviously say no. Okay? How is China able to be the factory of the world if they're playing by the same rules and paying the same amount of money as minimum wage and stuff as America? How are they able to do that? And let's not talk about, oh, they make cheap shit. They make stuff based on the quality of whatever the company ordering them to make it says. iPhones suck, but from a physical standpoint, the actual physical phone is really not that bad. It's actually quite high quality. The physical phone itself. Now we're not talking about the hardware, not the software. And if anybody knows anything about iPhones and Apple and Windows and stuff, the hardware is the exact fucking same. It's the software that's different. The same chips and such and stuff. There's no shortage of people running Apple shit on Windows systems. Or do they still have the Hackintosh shit? Where they run an Apple OS on what should have been a Windows system. Windows hardware, you know? So, yeah, you know, it just wondering. Just wondering. If America is going to be quote unquote great again, is slavery going to have to come back? Is that what Trump is saying? And not only saying, but doing by the actions here. People having to work, not getting paid. Back in the actual slavery that we all have come to know, most recent one in this country at the very least, the people that want to try to be an apologetic or try, well, not even apologetic, but try to justify how it was great, they can even say, and you know, hey, I can't say that they're wrong in what they're literally saying, but they are wrong in their mentality and thought process and logic base and derivatives from that, They actually they did get fed, they did get shelter, you know, they did get clothing, if you want to call it that. Fine. Literally, that did happen. Now, as to what you want to derive from that, as to the logic you want to come from that, well, that's where we're obviously going to differ. Because I'm not about to sit here and say, well, slavery wasn't so bad. The fuck do I look like? However, in this case, these people don't even get food, clothing, and shelter. So, if this is how you're going to make America great again, hmm? Interesting. In any case, it's just a thought I had. Just wondering. This actually was just an off-the-cuff video. I actually have other videos that I'm working on right now. Uh, just had me thinking. Did have me thinking. Your thoughts? I'd love to hear it. What justification do you people have? All you types and kinds of people, and I don't even mean it like the types and kinds, the regular types and kinds that I always say when I say types and kinds. Y'all know who I'm talking about. But just anyone, really. Just anybody who's of the thing of, oh, don't steal, work hard, and don't be a thief, and blah, 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 blah. Okay. What say you to this right now? These people are working hard or not, they're working, and there's an agreement. I'm sure there's something that was signed, some legal contract, employment stuff, saying you work, you are to be compensated. Perhaps now people will have to start putting into, or employees will have to start demanding in contracts, we will be paid at this specific time at these intervals. So that if shit like this happens, we don't go hearing, oh, you're gonna get paid at some point when this shit comes back, and we don't know when it's gonna come back, but at some point you're gonna get paid, and then some. Then these other people are like, well, you're just not gonna get paid at all, you know. Just my thoughts. Your thoughts in the comment section. Later.